In case you missed it, it's brought to you by ICYMI Cinema, and we're looking back at last night's game between the Mavericks and Western Michigan. Mike, a hard game to play for the Mavericks, going up against a team very structured in its outlook. They really make you earn every inch of territory, and with them getting the first goal, it was a tough game for the Mavs.
It really was. That's one of those games where you can't afford to fall behind early. You know, they're going to play a big, tough, kind of hard-nosed game in the defensive zone. They don't give you an inch, and they do an excellent job in front of the goaltender. I don't know how many shots were blocked last night, but they were in the double digits for sure. And you know, when you have a team that plays that way, for a team like ours that likes to play an up-tempo game, it really makes it very difficult to get the kind of offensive production that you expect out of our club.
Well, you know, it was one of those games, too, that could have been a lot different based on the way the first couple of shifts went. The Mavericks had some energy. Jake Gensel had a couple of good early opportunities. He pops those in, and maybe things look a little bit different.
Well, again, that's a team that doesn't want to play from behind. So we had the opportunity early when we had a lot of energy, and we did get great chances. I think at one point in time we were out shooting them 8-0. And all of a sudden, they kind of got back in the game. That power play goal they scored in the first period gave them some life, and then it made it much more difficult for us to get back to the position that we wanted to be in.
We have to give credit, certainly, to Western Michigan for playing a pretty good game plan here last night. You also have to kind of recognize the fact that the Mavericks are in one of those situations where, with such a young team, younger still with the subtraction of Dominic Zombo, who was out with an injury, you're in a position where you know, are playing games that perhaps are a lot different than the ones you played even just a month ago.
Yes, at this point in time, you know, we're in playoff hockey mode. Our league is so tough from top to bottom. Everybody's so bunched up that, you know, one game moves people like 3 and 4 spots in the standings. So it does become such an important thing. The pressure, the intensity of the games is totally different than it was in mid-January.
Well, it's not often that the Mavericks have lost the first game here at the CenturyLink Center this year, but when you come back for the rematch tonight, you know, what do you want to see them do maybe a little bit better?
Well, obviously we got to create a little more space. You know, Western does a great job of clogging things up. They use their size to their advantage. We need to generate a little more space, a little probably misdirection, use the width of the rink to spread them out a bit and create some lanes to the net. And probably one of the things I think from last night that we need to improve on is to attack the net. Offensively, we got to hit the offensive blue line with speed, and we've got to force their D-back, create some space high in the zone to get some higher quality shots in the offensive end.
And if you look at the goal scored by Jake Gensel last night, it was one of those sellout goals where you, like you say, you attack the net and you do whatever you can to get that puck across the goal line.
Absolutely, because they're going to be, you know, their bodies are going to be, big bodies are going to be in there. They're going to be throwing people around. You've got to fight through that. This is not going to be a game for the faint of heart. You're going to have to, you know, put on your hard hat. You're going to have to get in there and dig and work, because if you don't, they're going to hold you to the outside. This is a game for the guys who don't mind getting their nose bloodied.
Well, hopefully they won't have to go that far, but at least some good hard hockey awaits both of these teams tonight in the rematch. We hope you enjoy the game.